Hello everyone, welcome back to Project Forge UK. I'm Danny. I've now got a bald head, a COVID cut as everyone's calling them, and this is episode 11 of my top Fords on eBay this week. Last week in episode 10 I tried going for the 100 likes again. I got about 87, so thanks to everyone who hit the like button. And again, if we can try and get 100 likes in this video, it really helps us creators out. I said creators, us idiots who make videos on YouTube. And it gets us into the algorithms and stuff and just pops us up in more search results, and yeah, helps us out, so please try and hit that like button if you can. First up this week, we have a right treat for you. A lot of you will probably be saying, why the hell have you put that one on? It's an Easter sale 1998 Ford Escort Max Power tribute car. Was £3,500, now £2,750. I've used this car this week because these cars will go down in history. It's already strange talking to kids about what people used to do to cars in the late 90s, early 2000s, but I think this car pretty much sums up. It was nuts. Like 1996, 97, 98, I remember I used to have a paper round. All I used to spend my money on was car magazines. It was Max Power, Fast Forward, I think there was one called Redline. They were just booming. Like, they must have been making an absolute fortune, these magazine companies who had these at the time. They'd go into modifications, buyer's guides. They had people who were kitting cars up, and it just got madder and madder. I've picked this car because I remember Max Power did do a pink Escort RS2000 or a Cosworth. This is a tribute car, and as you can see from the pictures, it's a typical, what you call now, a Max Power car. Mad paint, bad boy bonnet, aggressive, overly sized bumpers, the twin headlamp conversions, which I do like them anyway. They're worth quite a bit of money them now. They've gone nuts with the interior. It's got the pink and cream interior in this car. And yeah, I don't think anything sums the late 90s, early 2000s modifying car scene up more than a car that looks like this. In the listing, it says the car was customised and featured in several car magazines in the late 90s and early 2000s. It has also been featured in several car shows nationwide where it won several first place prizes. The car is still in good shape. Yes, there are small scratches on the paint and there are detailing that needs to be done with reference to presentation. The car starts and drives but will need an MOT and tax. Please can you make sure you see the car and decide if it's for you. Car is located in Middlesex, 3 minutes from Heathrow Airport. So when I've done a history check on this car, I found the old pictures of when it used to be showed. On the history check, it's saying it was last for sale in October 2015. It's only got a bit of the description of it. It just says highly modified pink Escort 1.8. It was on Gumtree this, and it's selling. I'm selling my much loved car at such a stupid price only because I do not use it and it needs to go. The car's listed as a 1997 Ford Escort LX on number plate R283SMS and was first registered on Thursday the 28th of August 1997. It was last MOT'd by the looks of it in 2016 and it passed with 51,000 miles. I don't know if that's genuine miles or it's done 151,000 miles, but there you go. Going back to August 2014 on the MOT history, it's got a few advisories. Rear suspension mounting prescribed area is corroded but not considered excessive. If we go back to August 2010, the car's failing because of rust as well. Near side front seatbelt anchorage points, all your standard points you'd expect on a Ford Escort to be rusting, it's had it. So again, if you go looking at this car, make sure it's been repaired to a good standard. I know there's a difference between getting it through its MOT and having it done properly, but either way, get your head under this car. And in the comment section below, what's the maddest thing you've done to a car when you've owned one? Thinking back, what's the ugliest, daftest modification you've done to a car? Let me know in the comment section below. But that's number one on the list, and I promise you they get better from here. Number two on the list is a Ford Escort Mark IV van, RS Turbo Kit, RS2000 engine, one-off van, excellent condition. £7,500 this one. And I've included this one because not last episode, the episode before I had a white one on it. People were loving that van. This one is even nicer in its own way, but the white one was lovely as well. It's in the lovely Ford colour, which I can never remember the name of. In the listing, it says Ford Escort RS conversion van. Very clean van, being well maintained. It's very solid and straight, drives well, has full 90 spec RS turbo kit. Van was damaged, repaired 10 years ago. painted in metallic grey one-off colour, so it's not a Ford colour. Recently had a new clutch and water pump and fuel tank. Has genuine Escort cosworth wheels, Pioneer head unit with Bluetooth and USB aux port with subs and 6x9s in the rear. Lockwood clocks. RS turbo dash, electric windows, reversing camera, central locking on fobs. Like I say, I never bought this van to sell, but it doesn't get used as much as it should. Open to offers, nothing silly. So let's have a look at pictures on this van. Again, them twin headlights on the cars, I weren't keen on them back in the day, but they have proper grown on me. I don't know if it's just because it represents a time in modification when people were doing this to the cars. I can't remember what the company was called. Was it Moretti or Moretti twin headlamp conversions? They weren't cheap back in the day either, but I think they go for stupid money now as well. But the back of the cars, the van's all carpeted. It's got your subs in it. Little tub of oil in there as well for if you need to top it up. On the history for the car, it says a 1989 Ford Escort 35 was registered on Tuesday the 20th of June 1989 near Luton. Last MOT July 2018, straight through, no advisories, no nothing. Same in July 2017, 2008, it's just failing on tyres and stuff. Between 2009 and 2016 there was nothing on this car, so I don't know if that's when he said it was being restored or rebuilt because it had been in an accident, but there's nothing there on the MOT history of the car raising any flags, but usually that means that you need to just have a really good look at it when you go and have a look around the car. Again, I'd have this van. Not sure I'll pay £7,500 for it, but someone will because they'll just love it, or they used to have one back in the day. Like, that's what drives us all these days. Used to own one, sold it for cheap, and now we want to pay a lot of money to get one back just to say we've got it again and probably appreciate it 10 times more than we did back in the day. Number 3 on the list this week is a 1995 Ford Fiesta RS 1800. It's 7995 and it's done 78,000 miles. I've picked this car because obviously it's silver and I used to own one. I don't regret selling mine because I had fun like doing bits to it and stuff, but it was a bit above my head. It needed a lot of bodywork doing to it. The thing is with the Z-Tech engine is it drove absolutely mint. Mine had done over 100,000 miles. I think I sold it for £3,400 a couple of years ago. It looked a bit of a dog, but it drove mint. Mine was the earlier one where it didn't have power steering. It had the Recaro bucket seats in it. They replaced them out. I think they refer to it as a Fiesta 3.5 where it's got the zebra pattern wing backs. They had power steering. I think they had a few other bits that on the later models still look the same. It's just they had a few little bits inside that interior wise that were different, and an airbag as well, which is always nice when you're driving these cars. This one's with a dealer. It says metallic grey Recaro style wingback sport seats. They're not Recaro style at all, are they? Alloy wheels, remote central locking. They've just gone into the basics of the car. Not really anything into the history or anything like that. On the history check, it says this 1995 Ford Fiesta RS was first registered on Wednesday the 29th of March 1995 near Chelmsford. Last MOT July 2018 with 78,000 miles on it. Before that it was last MOT'd in June 2007. Chip windscreen, shock absorbers leaking and stuff, but apart from that it's past. Them are just advisories. Going further back to June 2006, it says near side rear suspension, component mounting prescribed area is excessively corroded. Yeah, it says that twice. It must have been really bad, but that's 2006. There's nothing before that. Again, this car might have been restored. It looks pretty clean in the pictures. Great memories of owning one of these. I think I only owned mine for maybe a year. I've drove down to Essex to pick it up. Drove it back 250 miles, I think it was. Fuel tank imploded. It had like a vacuum problem which just kept imploding fuel tanks. I managed to fix it all up, do some bits to it. I put new gearbox in it and stuff, thinking that there was a noise coming from it, and it turned out to be a wheel bearing. All learning really. But again, that's number 3 on the list. Fond memories of owning one of them. I didn't have them when they were originally out. I was too young, but I can say I've owned one. And they are getting quite pricey now with everything with the Fords. But again, nice little cars then. Number 4 on the list is a Ford Granada Scorpio 2 litre twin cam auto. Comes with a full MOT. It's £1,995. Probably the cheapest Ford I've ever featured on one of these episodes. But I've put this car on because these were like a proper boss car back in the day. Like, if someone was pretty high up in a company, They probably had a Ford Granada Scorpio. They were huge, they were right buzz. I always used to think they were just a giant Sierra. In the listing, it's with a dealer again. It says Ford Granada Scorpio Auto, L-Reg 1993, done 130k, comes with full MOT, drives excellent, clean and tidy. Now, I don't know if there's a market for these. Someone will buy one. I feel there's someone out there for every car. I just remember the sheer size of these things. They were a right tank. 2-litre auto as well. I bet it drives pretty well. I bet it feels so underpowered now compared to modern cars. But again, I just thought like they were a bit of an executive car back in the day, was the Granada Scorpio. I know a lot of them were used by funeral companies. They were stretched, painted black. There's a place in Bolton, West Orton Way, called Coleman Mill. They're a massive company who stretches these cars, and they also did the later ones as well. They do all sorts, but I just remember that these Granada Scorpios were basically like funeral cars. Bit grim, I know, but that's what they are. On the MOT history, it's a 1994 Granada Scorpio, first registered Friday the 18th of February 1994 near Belfast. Last MOT in 2018 and it passed with 130,635 miles on it. Got brake pipes corroded, front coil spring corroded, offside front coil spring corroded, alt springs are corroded. These are just advisories, you know how they get mucked up underneath. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the spring itself, it's just saying that there could be some problems in future. Going further down, again, the MOT, it failed September 2018. Vehicle structure corroded to the extent that the rigidity of the assembly is significantly reduced on the sill, both sides. So it looks like it's had some welding done. September 2019, it went through its MOT, failed, and then it was MOT'd again in September 2018 and it passed. So it looks like it's had that welding work done. Not really much on the MOTs behind that. Same again, just tyres, general stuff really on my MOTs. I always like with my cars trying to get the MOT work done before they get MOT'd, so it has like a nice clean slate. But it's not always possible. People aren't banging into the cars like some of us are. And they're just like I say, an MOT check for them is when they find out what's wrong with the car, get it done and then get it retested. But that's number 4 on the list. Last but not least, number 5 on the list is an old school retro Ford Mondeo ST200 hatchback, 2000 reg, full leather, imperial blue. I love these cars. I don't mind the hatchback, but if it's a saloon, I'd definitely have one. With all Fords, they suffer heavily with rust, but I've got massive fond memories of these cars from when I worked at Ford doing my apprenticeship. When these things came in, I just used to absolutely love the colour. I used to love how they drove. I love the sound of them. And when you were servicing them as a kid, if you took they had covers on the seat runners behind the driver's seat. If any money fell out of people's pockets, it usually run down the runner. You take the little cap off and you get some butty money there. It's pretty much theft thinking back. But as a 16-year-old kid, finding a couple of quid that they didn't know were there and buying yourself a bacon butty with it, it was seemed like a bit of a treat and you weren't doing anything wrong. I should have really put it in the centre console for the owner to have his money back, but I did a really good job of servicing his car and I'll just take it as my own take and tip. In the listing it says 2000 W Reg Ford Mondeo 2.5 V6 ST200 retro fast forward modern classic. Getting them keywords in. It's done 126,000 miles, full leather Recaro, imperial blue, new battery and alternator, new tyres, 1 key, logbook, some receipts, MOT till the 4th of September 2019. A walk around video can be sent on request for contactless viewing. I think this is the way the car buying market's going to go for a few people. Me personally, I know what's going on at the moment with the COVID-19, but I'm not bothered about going seeing a car. When lockdown's lifted, I'll happily go and look at a car. I'm not really bothered about being around people. I know that's a bit of a harsh thing to say, but as long as you keep your distance, I'm quite a hygienic, fussy person anyway. I don't like being that close to people in normal circumstances, let alone when something like this is happening. But I think there's going to be a lot more video walk rounds, especially for car showrooms and stuff. People not necessarily wanting to go. I'm a bit in two minds about the whole situation at the moment because I don't know whether we're going a bit over the top with when lockdown lifts and what people expect from companies with these plastic shields and screens everywhere. Yeah, I see everyone queuing up for the Indian on a Friday or the Chippy. So they're willing to go and be close to each other for that. So I don't actually know how it's going to go. But again, he's offering to do a video walk round, which I see a lot of people aren't at the moment. So hats off to him for trying to flog his car. But on the pictures, they're everything I remember these. Single twin exhaust on the back. Looking on the interior of the car, they just look so comfy. I just remember sitting in them thinking like they were the best thing ever. 16, 17-year-old lad getting in a car like this, it felt like it was like just so upper market, fast, like a proper sports car. I'm not into my Ferraris, I'm not into my Lamborghinis. I've always been into like your standard average man can afford higher end cars. Obviously with the way the Ford prices have gone now, your average man can't afford them. Having a 60 grand Escort RS Cosworth sat on drive at house when you still got a mortgage and stuff is absolutely nuts. But like, hats off to these people who do it. The dream is still to own an Escort RS Cosworth, but I'm not going to just not have cars while I build to that stage. But I definitely have a Mondeo ST200. ST24s were sound as well with a little weird forward spoke wheels. But let's get on to the history check of this vehicle. 2000 Ford Mondeo ST200, registered Thursday the 3rd of August 2000 near Guildford. Last MOT'd April 2019 with 123,000 miles. Near side stop lamp not working, that's why it failed. It passed the same day, no doubt they put a bulb in it. I know a lot of places will just put a bulb in it afterwards and pass it, but each to their own. Some people do it literally by the book. Go back to May 2016, it's saying that the near side front body or chassis has excessive corrosion, seriously affecting its strength within 30 centimetres of the body mounting. Offside front body or chassis has excessive corrosion, seriously affecting its strength within 30 centimetres of the body mounting. Both floor sections on floor marked yellow. These could be little holes, could be just rust, could have got a screwdriver through them, but it's failed the MOT on them. And it wasn't till January 2017 that car was put through one again. So hopefully it's had them done. Again, stick your head under this car and have a look. Going back to August 2014, there's more failures there for corrosion. It's such a shame these Fords do this. That's probably why they're so expensive, because if there are a million of them that still survived, there'd be more to choose from, but they just seem to just disintegrate. It's funny even now, like, if you buy a car now, the last thing that you want to do on your mind is have it stripped underneath and undersealed, because people don't see that much of a future in the car. They're on 3-year, 4-year PCPs, finance deals. They're in a circle of constantly changing the cars, where like when you get hold of these cars now that got undersealed back in the day or had some work done underneath and got wax oil or something, these are the ones that are like solid examples. And it's just weird that no one sees that far into the future of the car. They just see it as something they're going to have for 3 years and the next owner can worry about it. It's weird how manufacturers don't fully underseal and wax oil in cars and stuff, but again, they don't want them to last forever, do they? They want them to rot and rust, so you have to get a new one. They want you in this circle all the time, this loop of 3-year PCP, you never own it, you're just constantly paying a payment for a car. Anyway, rant over. That's number 5 on the list. ST200 hatchback. Definitely have a saloon. If I ever saw a saloon, I'd try and snap it up. Can't remember what the engines were like on these cars. I just know that they sounded amazing. Again, you're going to have rot issues, so you're going to have to get your head underneath, look behind them side skirts, see what's going on under there and see if it's had any repairs. But again, a nice one to finish on that one. Fond memories of these cars. Right people, that was episode number 11, done and dusted. We're still in lockdown. Again, I hope everyone's staying safe. I hope you've not all had to shave your head like I have. It needed doing anyway. I was going bald, so it's a good excuse to get it done. Head over the bath. Took me about 20 minutes. And yeah, I look like this now. I think I look far younger. I think I look far more attractive as well, so it's not a bad thing. Going back to the video I've just done, there's a lot of projects popping up on eBay now. I don't know if it's because of the current financial situation or people finding things a bit hard and making cuts and trying to get some money back in. I don't know whether I should start doing a video series on like my top projects on Ford, or just picking one a week, like my top project on Ford this week, because there's loads and they just look horrendous. Some of them look amazing, some are just in bits with everything piled in the boot. So let me know in the comment section below if you want me to start picking one of my favourite projects on Ford and just doing a quick 3-4 minute video on it. I'll continue to do these each week because, like I say, I know they might come across as a little bit boring, but like I really enjoy doing them. I love looking at all the Fords. I love seeing how much they're going for. I love seeing how much time and effort people put into them, what they're about, what they failed on, the history of the cars. it's just easy reading for me. I'm not one who sits there watching Netflix all the time. I like doing stuff, I like making stuff. So there you go. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.